I decided to do a podcast about Tevin Campbell. For most of you guys who do not know who Tevin Campbell is, he is an R&B sensation. You know, he was a child star. His career started in the late 1980s with Quincy Jones. And of course, I'm going to talk more about his biography. But the real reason why I'm making this video, and of course, everyone knows this Can We Talk challenge has taken over the internet. And everyone's just like, can we talk? They just want to challenge all over the place. And really, I'm excited about it. However, I'm disappointed. I'm going to explain why. I feel like Tevin Campbell has been overlooked for too long, and I really believe that it's time for him to get his Lifetime Achievement Award somewhere in this world, okay? Whether it be BET, I'm really calling BET or Soul Train. Where is Tevin Campbell's Soul Train Legends Award? Where is Tevin Campbell's Lifetime Achievement Award? Now, for the new people that's probably being introduced to Tevin Campbell for the first time from the song challenge, Can We Talk? You have to understand, a lot of you guys might think he's just a one-hit wonder, but Tevin Campbell has hits upon hits upon hits, and all of his music was made before he even turned the age of 18. So he was a kid pumping out sultry R&B tracks. Just his voice was so phenomenal. People was comparing him and saying that he was the male equivalent to Whitney Houston. And they also compared him, of course, to Michael Jackson. It's so interesting because, of course, Michael Jackson's mentor was Quincy Jones in the later part of his life when he decided to do Thriller, Off the Wall, Bad. That was all produced with Quincy Jones. Now, most of you guys know that Tevin Campbell was basically featured for the first time. His first record that came out was Tomorrow. Okay, this was a song cover from the Brothers Johnson that was remade with Quincy Jones for his album Back on the Block in 1989 is when this record came out. And, of course, it was Grammy Award winning. The album went platinum in the United States, which is not shocking when it comes to Quincy Jones. I mean, he is the man who created Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad. Like, how could we be shocked about that? However, what was amazing about this album, Back on the Block, was Tevin Campbell. This kid was like the lead vocalist to this album that was produced by Quincy Jones. And everyone, they had Tevin fever, and everyone was just looking at him, and wondering, like, what else could this kid come out with? This song, Tomorrow, is a song that's played at graduations. It's kind of like the Whitney Houston version of I Believe the Children Are Our Future. You're going to hear that. Or you're going to hear Tomorrow, A Better You, A Better Me. And you're going to hear the Tevin Campbell version because it's so pure. It's a pure vocals of a child singing, but it's so much maturity and there's so much hope in it. It's one of my favorite songs. If you ever feel sad or you feeling down and out or you just lose hope, you play Tomorrow, A Better You, A Better Me, sung by Tevin Campbell, produced by Quincy Jones and originally made by the Brothers Johnson. But listen to that version from 1989 and just tell me how you feel after listening to that. But we're going to get back into the history of Tevin Campbell. So, of course, as I stated before, he was on the record in 1989, but he was actually discovered in 1988 by Bobby Humphrey. He was a jazz musician, and he heard Tevin Campbell's vocals over the phone, according to the story, it says. And someone from Warner Brothers actually heard it, and they were interested in him. And, of course, they had a meeting with him. Boom, bang. Now you're working with Quincy Jones, and we're on track here. Then, after that, it was all history for Tevin Campbell. He dropped his very first album, Tevin, and it had hit singles, Tell Me What You Want Me to Do. It was number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. Mind you, he wasn't even, he was still a teenager when this happened, right? He was still a teenager. This album, it dropped in 1991. So you guys, you got to understand how historic this is for a child to just break out with this and not only just have that one song, because you would have somebody do one song and have Tomorrow, A Better You, A Better Me, and that would just be it. That's how it was. This is one hit wonder city. But Tevin Campbell, not only did he take 2 years after that, he created an amazing album out of that. And of course, Tell Me What You Want Me to Do is a classic. We got Round and Round, Goodbye, and I love that Goodbye video because it features Tatiana Ali. And you guys remember, Tevin Campbell was actually featured on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in one of my favorite episodes when he sings Happy Birthday, to Tatiana Ali's character, Ashley. So I love that. He also did another single, Strawberry Letter, produced by the Brothers Johnson and Quincy Jones as well. So, this album was classic for a child to sing like this? And did I miss Just Ask Me To? Like, literally, it's giving Michael Jackson tease. When I tell you that at least this album had 8 songs, and I want to say literally 5 out of the 8 songs were basically singles and hit singles. All right? Like, and the best thing about the album was one of the records, Round and Round, was produced by Prince for his actual movie, Graffiti Bridge. Now, this is why I'm telling you guys that and for the people that's out there, I'm a DJ, right? And usually on my podcast, I talk about entertainment news and gossip and stuff, but I want to try to add more substance because I just want to speak out and tell you guys why, this Can We Talk challenge needs to be pushed out to, Tevin Campbell's challenge, And I want to challenge you guys that's out there. If you guys can hashtag Can We Talk all day long, hashtag Tevin Campbell's challenge. And you guys pick songs from Tevin Campbell and sing them because he has so many songs besides Can We Talk. And this new generation just doesn't understand the full relevancy of Tevin Campbell. See, I'm young enough to remember. And Tevin Campbell, he came out during the late 80s, early 90s. So most of the people that's supporting him, they're like 30s to their 40s, a little bit older. And, the younger people that's in their 20s, they're just like, oh, yeah, he's sing Can We Talk. He is not a one-hit wonder, y'all. He worked with Prince. Prince produced a record with him. Prince put him on the Graffiti Bridge album soundtrack, you guys. That is a big thing. Prince didn't want to work with anybody. He didn't even want to work with Michael Jackson. He sat and mentored and worked with this young man. And that right there lets you know how talented and gifted he currently is, Tevin Campbell is, and how overlooked he is. And I feel like during the 90s, it's like people celebrated him, and he had his few albums that came out that really pushed him out there. But I feel like he was overlooked because there were so many other R&B talents, and there was a lot of, hip hop acts and stuff. And hip hop was at its height during the 90s as well. People just seem to just look over him and forget, right? And he has so many songs. Like, if I could just go through it. Goodbye. Listen, I know I'm off key, but I'm saying Round and Round. Round and Round. Okay? It's so many different songs. And then we're going to talk about the Goofy movie as well. Like, how do you guys forget that he was in the Goofy movie? He was freaking Powerline. Come on, y'all. You're telling me, listen, all the 90s kids out there, if you was born in 1990, between 1990 and I would say maybe 1993 and before that, I would say 1980. Y'all know that he did his damn thing on the Goofy movie. He was freaking Powerline, eye to eye, and he did all this stuff within the same 4 years that he dropped 2 platinum and double platinum albums. All right, so you guys got to understand. But before he got to his album that had the single "Can We Talk," he already had Back on the Block. He had Tevin, T to the E to the V to the I to the N. All right? Tons of hit records. Tell me, what do you want me to do? Like, do I have to go through this? He's done so much work, And I have to throw this in there as well because he worked with the likes of Quincy Jones just starting out. He worked with Prince. Just starting out. On his first album, the man, and look, and you can't get any better. Like, Quincy Jones literally worked with everybody in this industry. He literally was the music industry. Let's just get into I'm Ready. Let's get into his next album, right? I'm Ready. That came out in 1993, in October of 1993. And this album had the production. Listen, hold on. It had the production of Quincy Jones, production by Prince, production by Babyface. Benny Medina was his executive. I believe he was the manager. Listen, this album is the actual album that features Can We Talk. Now, y'all probably, because y'all young, that's probably doing this challenge, don't know, all right? Y'all probably think, oh, Tevin Campbell, he just had that one song. No, he had hits. I literally went down, basically his whole first album was like 5 songs back to back right there, okay? And then he drops I'm Ready. And I'm Ready was the album, but the single I'm Ready was a hit on top of Can We Talk, on top of Always in My Heart. You are always in my heart. 1994, that dropped. Don't Say Goodbye, Girl. Y'all already know what it is. Like, it's just so many hits on this album. A successful album. And mind you, he's still a teenager. He's not even 20 years old. Not even close to that. This album dropped in 1993. He's still like in his mid-teens, putting out records like this. Okay? And, you know, of course, how the music industry work, you know, they just try to, and I'm going to be honest with you. His last album that he did, and no shade to Puffy, okay? But you know how they be saying about Puff Daddy. Like, once he get his hands on artists, their career dies or whatever. But from my research, it looks as if Back to the World was actually partially produced by Puff Daddy. And unfortunately, I guess they didn't have the same production team or whatever happened. No Quincy Jones, no Babyface, you know, and of course Prince wasn't on here. So we had the production work of Sean Combs, Stevie J, Chucky Thompson. Now, you know, Bad Boy, amazing label. But I don't feel like it was a good collaboration because Bad Boy is basically hip hop. And, you know, even though I still like the song Come Back to the World, I feel like they kind of mismanaged him with this album. Even though it's a good album, I feel like it was nothing compared to the work that he did with Babyface, the work that he did with Quincy Jones. And you know what? I feel like, and this album came out in 1996, so it was a 3-year gap from when his previous album came out, I'm Ready, which was Grammy nominated, till now. And at this point, he just hit his 20s, you know, it's like 20 years old, and he started to change, you know, stepping into adulthood. But for some reason, it was just like the Hollywood thing when people just stopped supporting him. It was just so weird, you know. And then he dropped another album as well called Tevin Campbell, but that album didn't chart either. And I'm gonna tell you this, he put in his whole life into this music industry. He put out so many hits, and me just reading his biography, his music discography, is not enough to say how talented he is, because he's still with us, and he was as a teenager. The maturity that it takes to deliver on the songs that he was featured on, it's something that has never been seen before in the history of music when it comes to child stars outside of Michael Jackson. Vocally, it's not too many men who can sing like Tevin Campbell. I don't think I know anybody that can sing like Tevin Campbell. And I feel like we as a community, in the music community and the urban community, we have just completely shut off people who have contributed their whole lives into this industry, overlooking them because the industry became so saturated. And I'm glad that this Can We Talk challenge is happening, because we need to start highlighting Tevin Campbell. Now, for most of you guys who want to know what happened to Tevin Campbell, Tevin Campbell is now performing again. He's doing concerts and everything else, but it has been a large gap in between there. You know, his last album came out, in 1999. So it was nearly 20 years. You know, I've been following him, and I've been seeing that he's been performing. He's performing in Africa, stuff like that. But music-wise, we haven't heard any new records from Tevin Campbell. And I really want the people that, if you are a fan of Tevin Campbell, to encourage this man to make a new project. And we need to support him, because it's hard to find that real, true R&B. And Tevin Campbell is that. And I just want Tevin Campbell to get his things. It's been over 25 years since his first album. So I don't know what's required to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but he deserves that star. I feel like people overlook folks that have had 10 plus year careers who are not performing or haven't performed or put out music in the past 10 years. And they just forget the work that they put in. And one person that they have forgotten, to me, and it always bothered me, just as like, I guess just as a DJ, someone who's into music, I wouldn't say I'm a historian in my head, you know, not professionally, but I've studied these people, you know, it's Tevin Campbell. The thing is, comparing Tevin Campbell to these current acts and other acts who basically surpassed him and made it to pop star status, is Tevin Campbell has a signature song. Tevin Campbell is like one of the last group of R&B people that's still like, you know, I think he's like in his 40s now, that has a signature song. It's so hard for an artist to have a signature song. And I feel like, I don't know how Tevin Campbell felt when, you know, the industry was not supporting him as much and stuff. But what I can say is we always supported Tevin. I've always supported you, Tevin. And I'm so glad that people are giving you your flowers and you're not being overlooked. I don't know if you'll ever watch this or see this, but I just want to tell you that, you know, I'm a big supporter of yours. And I'm so happy to see you still singing. And for you guys, listen, this man can still sing like it was 1993 when he dropped Can We Talk. I was watching this concert that he did recently. Amazing performance. Vocals on deck. We need to revive this R&B community. We have to revive this R&B community. We need to support people like Tevin Campbell. We need to support, and we need to stop making it a popularity contest and make it about the music. And not to mention the talent, about the talent. I feel like the music industry has become so saturated with so many non-talented individuals who've basically gotten record deals based off of their popularity. And it was a clip that I seen from Nicki Minaj where she was addressing that. And she was just talking about somebody she knew that lost their record contract and they were real talented and they lost it because they weren't popular enough. They wasn't popular enough. And I just feel like that was a situation. I feel like they did Tevin Campbell so wrong. I feel like it's time for us as a community, let's as a music community, let's, you know, support Tevin Campbell, keep downloading his stuff. I had actually searched the internet, y'all, and his streams are through the roof. Can We Talk is at almost 87 million downloads on Spotify. And he has made it on the charts. Like at least 3 of his songs is at the top. He was number 1 on the R&B charts on Spotify this past week. And if we could have been supporting him this long, like this today, the past 10 years or so, whatever, where it was like him being on a hiatus or whatever the situation may be, I feel like we probably would have gotten a new album from him. I just feel like this is the age of music appreciation, R&B appreciation. We're already showing our appreciation towards Jasmine Sullivan because she's been overlooked for quite some time. And I really appreciate the Soul Train Music Awards giving her flowers and her awards like they should have been doing. And, you know, I appreciate Soul Train for giving Maxwell his Lifetime Achievement Award because he deserved it. I love Maxwell. Now I feel like it's time for Tevin Campbell to get his Legends Award or his Lifetime Achievement Award. You guys got to understand, or just, you know, influences, people that's been in the 90s that has been overlooked over the past 10 years. I mean, I'm talking about Tevin Campbell, but can we talk about TLC? Do I feel like I need to make this into a series of all the 90s artists that had careers that spanned it for 10 years, that has been basically overlooked by the public, that has contributed so much to the culture, but this industry will not give them their full flowers? I don't know. It's been at least 25 years since TLC had an album out. It's been 25 years since Tevin Campbell's had his first album out, first single out. You know, we need to get these Hollywood Walk of Fame, stars, and all of that stuff rolling around here. You know, the Hollywood star, where's the Hollywood Walk of Fame? You know, where is it? Now, I'm not saying, you know, it's just so many different, you know, I just feel like Tevin Campbell should be in some type of Hall of Fame for something. And it's just real. Because what he did was something that was never seen by a child before outside of Michael Jackson. The production around this kid, the vocal. Listen, I challenge you. This is what I'm saying. This is a Tevin Campbell challenge. I challenge you to go look through his entire catalog. If you guys love Can We Talk, you really gonna love Tell Me What You Want Me to Do, Round and Round, Goodbye. I mean, do I have to keep, I'm Ready? Like, do I have to keep going? Like, I mean, just hits. I mean, it's just the hits for me. It's the hits for me. The hits for me. I just really want him to get his Lifetime Achievement Award. I gave you guys mini biography about him. And this isn't about his personal life. I'm not making this about his personal life. I'm making it about the music. Maybe this podcast could be about the music, about the talent. I want him to get his flowers. We have to start giving people who've contributed so much to the culture for nearly a decade their flowers. And the worst part is, it's like, he even did Broadway. I believe he did Hairspray back in the early 2000s. He was always working. But it's like, as a community, people just write folks off and just like, oh, whatever. It's like, it makes me so mad how dirty the industry do our artists. Our black artists. You know, they deserve way more. And I feel like they kind of like mind F the artists to think that their fans don't care because they do them dirty, give them bad contracts, make them, lose their record deals, give them bad production, give them the wrong producers, and then try to make it seem like it's their fault. When it's not. If you don't promote albums properly, the fans won't know that the album is out. Could that be the reason why his album sales didn't chart before? How could he go from double platinum to basically not being platinum within and just dropping over a 3-year period? That's because I feel like he wasn't getting the proper support by the people behind the scenes. I feel like people just left him in his career for dead. Now, granted, of course, it could never be that way because in real life, and we know this right now, for him to still be talked about 30 years since his first single been out, that lets you know right there what it really is. It's been over 30 some odd years since he had his first single out. That lets you know what it really is. But I just feel like these industry people have done him so dirty. And I just feel like it's time for us to do a Tevin Campbell challenge. So my challenge for y'all, if you guys support Tevin Campbell, follow me, right? Follow me, put a hashtag Tevin Campbell challenge, and tell me your favorite song by Tevin Campbell. Sing one of your favorite songs by Tevin Campbell. Hashtag Tevin Campbell. And also, shout out to Tank as well for making this challenge and choosing to, highlight Tevin Campbell, because without him highlighting him, a lot of people wouldn't even be talking about him right now, But I've been following Tevin Campbell, and I'm so happy to see his followers go up. He was like, 30,000 on Instagram, and now he's at 60,000, probably at 70,000 by now. I need y'all to go over there and help Tevin Campbell get his 6 figures of followers, because I know it's at least 6 figures of people out here that support Tevin Campbell that got an Instagram page. Now, I done seen those Spotify views keep ranking it up, y'all. And maybe, who knows, because we got Babyface. He's still in the industry, real active. We still have Quincy Jones. He's still alive. I don't know if he's doing production because he's older, but we know that Babyface is still active. And we know Babyface wrote Tevin Campbell's Can We Talk? Can we talk about Babyface and Tevin Campbell getting together for a new album? Can we talk about that? Because I would gladly, I would gladly purchase that. I would gladly promote that. Because I really miss real good R&B. It's been hard for me as a DJ to spin records the past decade or the past 5 years, because I just feel like music is not at the same quality anymore. If you guys look at my other YouTube channel, DJ J Erica Music Lounge, I mix up music, and of course, it's music from the past, and I highlight those records because I really miss the 90s, and I want people to know about these people. I want people to discover these people, and hopefully it helps them. Hopefully it helps them find new fans, or fans find them, and they grow their brands and stuff like that, because I just don't want our great R&B singers like those in the 90s, hell, in the 80s, to be forgotten. Especially people who have put in a decades long of work. Do you guys know how much work you have to put in for you to have a substantial career for at least 10 years? And Tevin Campbell accomplished that as a kid. That is amazing. Like, honestly, the 1990s was like one hit wonder USA. One hit wonder here, one hit wonder there. Even the 80s, one hit wonder here, he had hits, at least 10 different hits out in the 10 years that he was out, active as a kid star, as a singer. And right now he still has his vocals. He still look healthy. It's like he dodged the actual child star curse, but I really want him to be acknowledged. And I don't know what they're doing for the BET Awards. I see that BET has called on him to perform a couple of times. Every few years, they'll have him come and perform. But they don't give him enough time. They don't give him enough time on the stage. I feel like they have him sing one song. They give him like a minute set or 2 minute set. That's not long enough, BET. I need y'all to get this together. I need y'all to give, I don't know, a 90s, R&B 90s, 80s, 90s influencer, something Legends Award, R&B Legends Award to Tevin Campbell. Or to a lot of these other people that's being overlooked, like a TLC. There's so many people in part of our culture that has been so overlooked, and it truly bothers me. I mean, I just look at my wall, because my wall has vinyl of like people from the past, and I just feel like, what are we doing for these people or the culture? What are we doing for these people for the culture? We letting these legacies die, and we have to start supporting our people and what R&B was and is. When you look into the pop world, where it's more so a white audience, they support their legends until the very end. People who are still heavily supporting Dolly Parton and all of the other rockers, Rolling Stones, and all those other rockers, Elton John, they still heavily supporting it. But in the black community, it's like you get old that everybody just forget about you unless you associated with some mogul. If you associated with a mogul who's walking around here being flashy, all this, I own this and that, you stay relevant, right? But when you just an artist, and you're not associated with some mogul pushing you out or trying to, sometimes be, out there with you. It's like people just like, whatever, they fell off. Or, oh, they tired. Oh, they old. They played out. Come on, y'all. I just want the community and R&B community to do better. And I want people to really look into Tevin Campbell, his music, his discography. Don't just stop at Can We Talk, y'all. Listen to his other albums. Get those streams up. And I hope if Tevin Campbell is listening to this, please make some new music. I'm here for a new album. Of course, you have Can We Talk? You have all of these other songs. Tell me what you want me to do. Round and Round. Tomorrow. I could just go down the list and I keep repeating myself. But I just hope that this encouraged Tevin to start getting back into the music, because we miss his work. We miss his voice. I know that he's out performing. He's doing a lot of shows lately, but maybe this could turn into something. And hell, since Tank, helped to start this challenge, maybe they'll collaborate. There's so many people that support Tevin Campbell, and I don't think he noticed until now that we never stopped supporting you, Tevin Campbell. We've always supported your work. It's just how this industry is. They've twisted it to make it seem like we stopped messing with you. But they stopped messing with you. We never did as fans. So if you decide to strike out right now and build something right now, I bet you the entire Tevin Campbell army, and I don't know if that's what he want to call his fan base, is going to support. Take advantage of it, man. I don't know if he want to be a part of it. I mean, he's still performing. He's doing concerts. So, of course, I'm pretty sure that he want to be a part of the industry again. And it's not even about the numbers. It's not about him going double times, 12 times platinum. It's not about that. It's just, we just want to hear you, and your real core fan base that rock with you, we going to download that music. We going to download that music because we see you, we know who you are. But I really want the young people out there, check out all 4 of his main albums that's been released, 5 of his albums that has been out. Just listen to his music. Just listen to it. Listen to his material. You guys, so much history, so much talent, classic, and I think that's all I have to say right now about Tevin Campbell. If you guys are a fan of Tevin Campbell's, hashtag Tevin Campbell challenge below. Say your favorite song by Tevin Campbell, sing it, and tag me, hashtag the DJ Jerica podcast, and tell me, if you're new, what song did you like? If you just discovered Tevin Campbell's music, what are your favorite songs that you heard? Because I was sitting here just listening to all of his music today, and I was sitting there thinking man, I want to do a video or some type of podcast discussing his career and just doing a brief biography of who Tevin Campbell is and who he was as a teen star and a child star and a singer. A singer. No, not singer with an I. A singer. Sang with an A. A singer. He didn't need all this extra run. He was the only person that could run and you be okay with it. He just was cool with his singing. You feel me? His voice has just never been heard of before. I haven't heard anybody that can even hit the vocal capabilities of Tevin Campbell, especially in that song, Can We Talk? But I just want to say, can we talk about all his other songs as well, besides Can We Talk? Because he has a ton of other music that I need you guys to discover. And if you guys like this particular podcast, where I kind of go behind the music, let me know in the comment section. I just wanted to talk about this. Outside of this is the DJ J. Erica podcast, where we talk about celebrity news, commentary, gossip. You can check out my Foot Pod on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I just wanted to put out something more positive. I feel like every time I'm doing media work, it's always some negative. This person did this person's sleeping with that, this person got shot. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to get back to that commentary. But I just want to put out some positivity here and there. And if you guys want me to say why TLC need their Hollywood Walk of Fame in their rock and roll, okay, I don't know what the T is on that. I don't know when they're hitting 25 years real soon. I know they're hitting it real soon because I'm 30 and they've been out since, I want to say 1991, 92. So we got to figure out, we need everybody to get their things. It's time for us to get these R&B singers their things while they're still alive and with us. I need Tevin Campbell to get his things and I need y'all to give it to him now, like for real. And that's just what it is, okay? He didn't have to be, and this is another thing, he didn't have to be he didn't have to be over sexual. He didn't have to take his clothes off and be overtly just vulgar. He didn't have to have, other people featuring everywhere all over his stuff. He was just himself. He just had hot, dope vocals, okay? And that's just what it was. Great production team. When you have Babyface, Quincy Jones, and Prince working with you, come on. But I just wish people highlighted it even more, because to have those three men backing you in the music industry, how tough is that? You have to be a hell of a talent for all of those people to believe in you and to work with you, openly supporting you. That's all I got to say about Tevin Campbell. Make sure you guys support the man. Go follow him on his Instagram. I'm pretty sure you guys know he got an Instagram. He got a Twitter. Follow him. Make those streams go through the roof. If we can hit 87 million, let's hit 100 million. And let's help some people cash out. Let Babyface get a check. And I hope Tevin Campbell get a check from that song too. And y'all, I'm going to catch you guys on the next video in the next podcast. Much love. Peace.